Alright, so you're an accidental landlord in Portland, Oregon. Maybe you inherited a property, maybe you moved and couldn't sell, or maybe life just threw you a curveball. Whatever the reason, you've landed here, and trust me, you're in the right place. We're for rent local, and we've seen this scenario play out countless times. It can feel overwhelming at first, almost like you've been thrown into the deep end of the pool without knowing how to swim. But here's the good news. You're not alone, and there's a clear path forward from feeling stressed and unprepared to feeling confident and in control of your new asset. We're going to break it all down for you, step by step, so you can really nail this. Now, I get it. Becoming a landlord probably wasn't on your bingo card for this year. You might be thinking, this is way too complicated, or I don't have time for this. And yeah, there's no denying that you may not have planned for this. But here's the deal, and this is where it gets exciting. This unexpected situation, this accident, can actually be a golden opportunity. We're talking about turning this property into a serious asset, something that generates long-term passive income for you and your family. Imagine that, a stream of income that keeps flowing, month after month, year after year, helping you build real wealth. It's entirely possible, even if it feels a bit daunting right now, and we're here to show you how. So, in this video, we're not just going to skim the surface. We're diving deep. I'm going to share some super practical, actionable tips to help you navigate this journey. We'll cover everything you need to know to go from being an accidental landlord to a skilled, savvy, and successful landlord, especially here in Portland with its unique set of rules. Think of this as your roadmap, your ultimate guide. By the end of this, you'll have a much clearer picture of what it takes, and you'll be equipped with the knowledge to make smart decisions that will pay off big time. Let's get started and turn this accident into an advantage. Alright, first things first, and this is a big one, especially here in Portland. You absolutely have to get a handle on the local rental regulations. I'm not gonna lie, Portland has some of the most tenant-friendly, and let's be honest, complex rental regulations in the entire country. So if you're stepping into this landlord role by accident, this is your ground zero. You can't afford to wing it here. That's just asking for trouble. We're talking about things like Portland's Fair Access in Renting, or Fair Ordinance, which dictates exactly how you must screen tenants. Then there are rental registration requirements you need to be aware of, and specific rules around relocation assistance if you need to end a tenancy for no cause, and those costs can add up. And that's not even mentioning the limits on rent increases and the very specific notice periods you have to give for pretty much everything. Seriously, don't underestimate this part, it's foundational. Ignoring these rules isn't just a slap on the wrist, we're talking potentially hefty fines, legal battles, and a whole lot of stress you just don't need in your life. Think of it like this. Knowing these regulations is like knowing the rules of the road before you start driving. It keeps you, your investment, and your tenants safe, and it prevents you from crashing and burning. Now, if all this sounds like a foreign language, and trust me, it can feel that way, especially when you're just starting out and didn't plan for this whole landlord thing, remember you're not alone. A good Portland property manager, someone who lives and breathes these rules every single day, can be an absolute lifesaver here. They can help ensure you're compliant from day one, helping you dodge those legal bullets and avoid those costly pitfalls. It's an investment in peace of mind, really, and can save you thousands in the long run. Okay, next up, let's talk about finding the right people to live in your property. This is crucial, and I mean really crucial. One of the absolute biggest mistakes I see new landlords, especially accidental ones, make is rushing the tenant screening process or just not doing it thoroughly enough. It's tempting, I know, you want to get someone in there quickly and start generating that rental income, but cutting corners here can lead to massive headaches down the line. We're talking late rent, property damage, difficult conversations, and even costly evictions. A thorough screening process isn't just a suggestion, it's your first line of defense, your shield against problem tenants. We're talking about doing proper credit checks, verifying their employment, and super importantly, their income to make sure they can comfortably afford the rent without stretching themselves too thin. You also want to dig into their rental history and actually talk to their past landlords. These references can be gold, giving you insights you won't find on paper. Now, remember how we just talked about Portland's specific rules? Well, they apply big time to tenant screening too. Your screening criteria have to be in line with Portland's Fair Ordinance. This ordinance has very specific guidelines on how and when you can evaluate applications, what you can and can't consider as disqualifying, and the order in which you must process them. It's often first come, first served if they meet the minimum criteria, It's designed to prevent discrimination, which is incredibly important, but it means you need to be extra careful, systematic, and document everything meticulously. Getting this wrong can land you in hot water, facing complaints or even lawsuits. Again, if this feels like navigating a minefield, and it can be, a qualified Portland property manager is your best friend here. They know the fair ordinance inside and out, and can handle the entire screening process, ensuring you stay compliant while still finding reliable, responsible tenants who will treat your property well. It's about protecting your investment and following the law to the letter. Alright, let's talk money, specifically how much rent to charge for your Portland property. This is a delicate balance, kind of like finding that just right porridge for Goldilocks. It's not just about picking a number you think sounds good. If you overprice your rental, guess what happens? It sits empty. And every single day it's vacant. That's money flying out of your pocket, not into it, because you're still covering the mortgage, taxes, and insurance. Long vacancies can absolutely kill your cash flow and turn a potential asset into a liability. On the flip side, if you underprice it, you're literally leaving money on the table each and every month, cutting directly into your potential profits and the overall return on your investment. In a market as dynamic and competitive as Portland's, you really need to do your homework to figure out that sweet spot, a rent that's fair and attractive to good tenants but also profitable and sustainable for you as the landlord. So, how do you figure this out? Where do you even start? Well, you can begin by looking at online rental platforms like Zillow, Apartments.com, or Craigslist. They can give you a general ballpark idea of what similar properties in your specific neighborhood are renting for. But, and this is a big but, those online numbers aren't always the full picture. They might not reflect the exact condition of your property, recent micro-market shifts, the specific amenities you offer, or even the nuances of your particular street. This is where local expertise really shines and becomes invaluable. A local Portland property manager, someone who's in the trenches every day, analyzing the market, will have access to real-time market data, a deep understanding of comparable properties, we call them comps, and the hands-on experience to help you set the optimal rent price right from the get-go. They can help you avoid those costly vacancy periods or the long-term regret of undercharging, ensuring you maximize your rental income from day one. It's about making data-driven decisions, not just guessing and hoping for the best. This next point is so incredibly important, I can't stress it enough. Get absolutely everything in writing. I mean everything. When it comes to managing a rental property and dealing with tenants, never ever rely on verbal agreements or handshake deals. Oh, they said they'd take care of the yard maintenance, or we talked about them paying by the 5th of the month, no problem. Nope, that's a surefire recipe for misunderstandings, disputes, he said, she said situations, and potentially very costly legal problems down the road. Every single detail, from the basic lease terms like the exact rent amount and precise due dates, to who is responsible for what kind of maintenance, lawn care, snow removal, minor repairs, to rules about pets, smoking, guests, quiet hours, all of it needs to be clearly, unambiguously outlined in a comprehensive written lease agreement. This document is your primary protection as a landlord. It's your rule book. And here in Portland, it's not just about having a lease. It's about having the right lease, one that is fully compliant with local and state laws. Your lease agreement needs to include certain mandatory disclosures required by the City of Portland and the State of Oregon. We're talking things like lead-based paint notices if your property was built before 1978, specific information about security deposit handling, and providing required tenant rights booklets or information packets as mandated by the city. Having a strong, comprehensive lease agreement that is specifically tailored to Portland's unique and often complex regulations is absolutely crucial. It protects you. It protects your tenants by setting clear expectations for everyone involved, and it provides a solid legal framework if disagreements or issues arise. If you're sitting there thinking, I have no idea how to draft something like that covers all the bases, don't worry, most people don't. A good property manager can provide a legally sound, robust lease that covers all the necessary details and keeps you compliant. It's a foundational piece of successful, stress-reduced landlording. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about the physical property itself. Maintenance. This is a big one. Keeping your rental property in good, and I mean genuinely good, well-maintained condition isn't just about being a nice landlord or making your property look attractive for the next Zillow listing. It's actually good business. It preserves the value of your asset, and more importantly, it's required by law. Portland has what's called the Housing Maintenance Code, and this document outlines the minimum standards for habitability that your property meet. We're talking about essentials like working plumbing without leaks, safe and functional electrical systems, adequate heating, a roof that doesn't leak, and a structurally sound building. These aren't optional extras, they are fundamental requirements. Being proactive here is absolutely key. Regular inspections, even simple walkthroughs, with proper notice of course, can help you catch small issues before they blow up into major expensive repairs. And timely repairs when a tenant reports a problem are absolutely essential. This isn't just about fixing things, it's about preventing bigger headaches, bigger bills, and potential legal issues later on. Beyond the strict legal requirements, being responsive and diligent with tenant maintenance requests does wonders for your landlord-tenant relationship. When tenants see that you care about the property and their comfort, and that you address issues promptly and professionally, it builds trust and goodwill. And guess what? Happy tenants are much more likely to take good care of the property themselves, report issues early before they worsen, pay rent on time, and crucially stay longer. Longer tenancies mean less turnover, fewer vacancy periods, which cost you money, and less cost and effort for you in finding and screening new tenants. So, preventative maintenance and quick, efficient responses to repair requests aren't just expenses, they're smart investments in a smoother, more profitable rental experience. Now, if the thought of coordinating plumbers at midnight dealing with emergency roof leaks during a storm, or just managing the day-to-day upkeep while you're trying to juggle your day job, feels completely overwhelming. And for many accidental landlords, it definitely does. This is another area where a Portland property manager can really step in and take that entire burden off your shoulders. They can coordinate all the repairs, conduct inspections, and keep your property in top shape, often with access to vetted, reliable contractors. Alright, let's talk about a topic that's not always the most exciting, but is absolutely critical for any landlord, especially if you've stumbled into this role somewhat unexpectedly: budgeting for those inevitable, unexpected expenses. One of the biggest financial curveballs for accidental landlords, and even experienced ones, is the sheer unpredictability that can come with owning a rental property. It's not just about collecting rent and paying the mortgage each month, that's the ideal scenario, but reality often throws wrenches in the works. What happens when the water heater suddenly decides to give up the ghost in the middle of a cold Portland winter? Or when a tenant moves out and leaves behind some unexpected damage that goes beyond normal wear and tear? Or heaven forbid you have to deal with legal fees for an eviction process, which can be both time-consuming and expensive. These things happen. It's part of the business, and they can seriously eat into your rental income and profits if you're not financially prepared. It's very easy to get caught off guard and stressed out if you haven't planned for these what-ifs. So, what's the solution? How do you protect yourself? You need a dedicated reserve fund, a financial cushion specifically earmarked for your rental property. Most financial experts, myself included, strongly recommend setting aside anywhere from 10 to 15% of your gross monthly rental income into a separate savings account. Think of it as an emergency fund or an oops fund just for your property. This isn't money you touch for your everyday personal expenses. It's there specifically for those bigger, unexpected hits: the new roof, the major appliance replacement, the extended vacancy. If you're relying on that rental income to cover the mortgage payment each month, having this financial buffer is even more critical. It can be the difference between a minor inconvenience that you can handle smoothly and a major financial crisis that causes a lot of sleepless nights. A good property manager can also help you with this by forecasting potential future capital expenditures, helping you budget effectively, and managing your property's finances transparently, giving you that much-needed peace of mind. It's about being financially responsible and protecting your investment for the long term. So, we've covered a lot of ground today, from understanding Portland's tricky and very specific rental regulations, to the nitty-gritty of tenant screening, setting the right rent price, the importance of solid lease agreements, proactive maintenance, and smart financial budgeting. If you're sitting there thinking, wow, this is a lot more involved, a lot more work, and a lot more complex than I initially thought, Especially if you weren't planning on becoming a hands-on DIY landlord in the first place, then this final tip might just be the most important one for you. Seriously consider hiring a professional Portland property manager. For many accidental landlords, this isn't just a luxury or a convenience. It's often the best strategic decision you can make for your property, your finances, your time, and frankly, your overall sanity. They are the experts who deal with this stuff day in and day out, so you don't have to become an expert overnight while juggling everything else in your life. Think about what a good, experienced property manager can actually do for you. They handle the comprehensive marketing and advertising of your property to attract a wide pool of qualified tenants quickly, minimizing those costly vacancies. They manage that complex and legally sensitive tenant screening and placement process we talked about earlier, ensuring full compliance with all those fair housing rules here in Portland. They take care of the often awkward or difficult task of consistent rent collection and follow-up on late payments. They coordinate all the maintenance and repairs, often with a network of trusted, vetted, and sometimes discounted vendors, saving you time and hassle. They understand legal compliance inside and out, keeping you on the right side of the law, and can even handle the unfortunate but sometimes necessary eviction procedures if it ever comes to that, navigating that process correctly. Yes, there's a cost involved, a management fee, but many landlords find that the benefits, like reduced vacancies, higher quality tenants who stay longer and cause fewer problems, better maintained properties, and significantly fewer legal headaches, often more than offset that fee. Especially if you're trying to balance a full-time job, family commitments, or perhaps you live out of town or even out of state, a property manager offers not just convenience but genuine expertise, systems, and peace of mind. They can turn your accidental rental into a truly passive, profitable investment. So, there you have it. Being an accidental landlord, especially right here in Portland, Oregon, with its unique landscape of rules and regulations, definitely comes with its own specific set of challenges. We've talked about the complex regulations you need to master, the absolute importance of thorough and compliant tenant screening, and the ongoing need to stay on top of maintenance and diligent financial planning. But, and this is the key takeaway I really want you to remember today, it also comes with incredible opportunities. With the right knowledge, the right strategies, the right mindset, and potentially the right support system in place, you absolutely can turn this unexpected rental property into a profitable, successful, and even enjoyable long-term investment that builds wealth for your future. It's about making informed choices and being proactive from the very start. Whether you decide to dive in headfirst and manage the property yourself, taking on all those responsibilities we discussed and becoming a hands-on landlord, or you choose to partner with a professional Portland property manager who can handle the day-to-day operations for you, the most important thing is to stay informed and stay proactive. The rental market is always evolving, regulations can and do change, and being on top of your game, continually learning, is what ultimately leads to success and minimizes stress. Don't let the accidental part of this journey define your entire experience. You have the power to shape this into something truly beneficial for your financial future, something that works for you. Knowledge is power, and taking consistent, informed action on that knowledge is absolutely key. And hey, if you're feeling like you could use some expert guidance on this journey, if any of this sounds overwhelming, or if you just want to explore your options, that's exactly what we're here for. We specialize in helping landlords, accidental or seasoned, navigate the often choppy waters of the Portland rental market. If you want to learn more about the services that we can offer you, from comprehensive tenant placement to full-service, stress-free property management, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can call us directly at 503-646-9664, and yes, you'll talk to a live person. Our office answers the phone from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or feel free to visit our website anytime at 4rentlocal.com. We'd love to chat and see how we can help you turn this accidental situation into a genuine success story. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that like button if you found this helpful, subscribe for more tips, and I'll see you in the next one.